Welcome to your Intro to ELDOA class. So here we're going to take in mind some of the principles that we look at in our ELDOA class. We're going to be making sure we're looking at axial extension. We're going to be looking at pelvic positioning, making sure your posture's in the right place, and weight bearing, and something called decoaptation. So I'm going to go through all of these bit by bit, but first I'm just going to have you get the body just warmed up a little bit. We're going to go through like a mini version of what would be called an osteoarticular warm-up, in which we do a full version in the class every time. And this is just to get the joints warmed up, to get everything moving, get everything lubricated essentially, because we want to make sure our tissue is hydrated. So be sure to drink a lot of water before your class and a lot of water after your class. Good, so just keep marching here with me. Take a nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Nice deep breath in, and nice deep breath out. And now we're simply just going to move the arms forward and to the side, forward and side. That's it, you're just gonna keep marching in place. Our goal is to get our heart rate up, but it is not to create any impact, because our goal is to elongate the spine and create space and movement. So we won't be doing any jumping or anything impactful that would decrease our ability to lengthen our spine. Good, now the first thing we're gonna do is I want you to turn both feet in towards one another. I want you to place your hand on the front of your pelvis and your back. I'll face the side here, and you're going to tuck under and then stick your bottom out. Tuck under and stick it out. If it's easier to place your hands on your hips, you can tuck and relax out this way as well. I like to do it in the front and back so I can feel a little bit more. Good, this is gonna be our anterior pelvic tilt and our posterior pelvic tilt. We're gonna be working a lot in these directions, making sure we can go through both movements, going forward and backwards. Then we're gonna make sure we take a nice tuck, that posterior tuck, but we're gonna make sure that we're in a neutral spine, not super tucked, squeezing the glutes a lot, but just making sure our spine is in that neutral position, nice and tall. Then from here, I'm gonna come back to the front, and we're gonna keep in that long position. I'm gonna bring the arms out to the sides, and I want us to move just our rib cage first. Right, and all we're gonna do is go one side and that side. Good, we're just gonna stay to the right. Here we're gonna keep that pelvis locked in place, and we're gonna just move that rib cage over to the side. Might feel a little tricky at first. Might feel like, what do you mean? Don't worry, as you do it more, it will become easier and better. And you might find one side is easier than the other. Good, now let's try the other side. Reaching and reaching. Good, you can even use your arm to give yourself a little bit of a reach, but again, keep that tuck here and keep your pelvis stable. This is our fixed position or our locked position for our pelvis. We want to make sure our body's not all of a sudden going together, but really trying to take the rib cage away from the pelvis. Good, I want you to relax. Now, we're gonna bring ourselves down to the floor, and I want us to go into that rocking position. So first, I want you to find both sit bones. You find those little bony premises underneath your bottom. And again, I want you to go through that same rocking position. We're gonna tuck the pelvis, and you're gonna stick the bottom out. Tuck and rock. We're going back and forth here. You're gonna exhale as you tuck under, and you're gonna inhale as you reach forward. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, reach forward. We're just going back and forth, nice and easy. Good. Again, this is just to warm up your pelvis, getting that lower spine moving and working in these positions. Good. Relax here. Now we're gonna come into either a cross-legged position, and if you feel like you can't sit up tall in this position, I want you to just lengthen your legs out a little bit. Whether that means your heels slightly together and your knees apart, or it could even just be a little bit crossed. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And even if you need to go to your knees, you can do that too. But what we're going to practice next is our posture of getting tall or not tall. So I want you to slump down, relax the shoulders, and sit here for a second. And now I want you to get tall from this position and see what that looks like for you. Did you get tall and did you reach your chin up to the sky? And if you did, no worries, but that's kind of what we did when we were younger, right? We always kind of lifted our head up to see if we can get ourselves taller. What I want us to do is take that chin and pull it in just slightly. I don't want you to go too crazy, not like a too crazy double chin, but pull it in slightly. And you should almost feel like there's hooks in the back of your neck, pulling yourself upwards towards the ceiling. And if the hook idea doesn't resonate well, think of a string from the top of your skull, pulling up towards the sky. That's what we want to feel. And our gaze can be on a slight low diagonal, as if I have like laser beams going straight down towards the floor. Not down this way, but kind of on an angle. And then just relax, let everything fall. We're going to do that again. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. On the next inhale, I want you to get nice and tall. Good. That's it. We're going to keep that chin in. We're going to keep growing from the top of our head. And we're going to keep that hook from the back of our skull, whichever kind of feels like the right positioning for you. If you need a mirror, take a glance to the side and look in a mirror and watch yourself and look from the peripheral of your eyes to see if you can get to that position where your neck is still in line with your spine. Now, be careful of your middle spine, that you're not too arched forward or you're not too slumped back here. So we're gonna find that medium where we can be nice and tall and it's not slouched down, and we're gonna get up again. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we're gonna get nice and tall, pull that chin in. Reach the head up to the sky. This is our axial extension. This is how tall we get tall from this position. And I want you to now bring yourself to a wall if you have it available. If not, it's okay, you can try this another time, or feel free to get up, bring yourself to a wall. This makes this position a little easier and a little easier to feel it as you get tall. So you can bring your chin and neck and shoulders all the way up against it. I mean, every part of your spine should be against the wall. And here you might find yourself feeling what's going on in your shoulders and your neck. You might feel like your shoulders round forward. You might feel like your back is really arched off the ground, off the wall. Or you might feel like your head can't get up against the wall. If you feel like any of these things, it's okay, we'll manage this position. Do your best to try to bring your shoulders back without drawing up to your ears, right? And we want to try to bring our lower back against the wall without hunching our shoulders forward and jutting our chin out. And if you're having a difficulty bringing your head back, I want you to grab yourself a towel. Just bring it, fold it in half, just a small hand towel, bring it behind your head. That'll give you a little prop forward, so I'm bringing the wall to you. And what we're going to do is, you're going to lift your chin up to the sky to look upwards, and then you're going to pull the chin in and grow long up the wall. So again, you're going to look up to the sky so that you'll kind of slump down, and then you'll exhale, pull the chin in, keep feeling a circular motion happening, and like you're growing up of the sky, keeping everything attached to the wall. Your head, your shoulders, your back. Inhale, look up, reach your chin up. Exhale, pull your chin in, grow tall. And one more inhale, look up. Exhale, grow tall. Now stay tall here for me. As you're staying tall, I want you to see if you can find more length. See if you can pull the chin in a little bit more. See if you can grow up the wall, slide up towards the ceiling. See if you can bring your shoulders back to the wall. See if you can keep your back against the wall. You know, there's a lot of things going on. And if your legs are feeling like they're too much, again, just lengthen them out a little bit and get yourself nice and close. But again, keep trying to breathe in and breathe out and get taller and get taller, get taller. You're going to hear me say this a lot in class. Reach more, push more, grow taller. This is where you can practice this. This is where we get our extension, our axial extension. So going from the top of our head all the way down to our tailbone, we're thinking about pulling our body apart. It's going to be the most important portion of the class, doing all these exercises. Good, now I want you to relax. Get out of that axial extension. Good, and come on forward for me. Good, now the next thing we're going to do is talk about something called decoaptation. Crazy word, I know, right? But what that means is we are decoapting, moving a limb away from its base. So we're going to practice this with our shoulder and our arm, with our torso. And all you're going to do is you're going to try to reach the arm and then relax. You'll see my arm kind of look like it's coming out of the socket a little bit, and relax. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to try not to move your whole shoulder, move your whole torso. It's a small movement, nice and easy. So if you're thinking it's supposed to be really big, it's not. So don't worry. If it feels really small, you're probably doing it right. So don't worry again. Just be mindful of how you're doing it. You want to reach and you want to relax. Your relaxed position is not fully down to the floor. Your relaxed position is just simply letting that shoulder come back into place. Reaching and relaxing. Good. Reach and bring it back in. Reach and bring it back in. Good. Let's go 2 more with this right arm. That's it. And then let's switch. Bring your left arm out to the side. And also I want to put in mind, so I want you to bring your arm just a little bit forward. Don't be trying to put your arm all the way back behind you, because then your shoulders are going to start to rise up. So just bring it just a little bit in front of you so you can see, let's say, your thumb out of your peripheral from here. And again, you're going to reach away and relax. Reach away and relax. Good. Reach away and relax. Be careful of that shoulder. Make sure it's not rising up to your ear. Make sure your torso is not going with you. This may not come at first too. This may be something you also need to just practice. The slower you go, the better you'll get at it. It's very focused and very small. Just go 2 more. Good, and relax. Nice. Now, what I want to do next is go through the movements with the hands. When you have your hands out, I want you to flex them and then point them forward. Flex them and point them forward. As you flex them, you should feel a nice big stretch through your forearm here. And now we're going to bring them in and bring them out. This is their internal rotation, fingers in toward each other, and your external rotation. Fingers are going to point as far away from your body, so you're rotating all the way around. And now, from here, I want you to push the arms straight forward and relax. Push and relax. Good, 1 more. Push and relax. Good, now just relax the arms. Because now we're going to bring the arms straight overhead, but we're going to think about the exact same things. We're going to think about pulling the fingertips back, and we're going to think about that external rotation. All of these positions that we're going to do are going to be in external rotation. We are trying to create tension in the body and length. So by putting ourselves in external rotation, it creates that tension. So you're going to take your arms straight up to the ceiling, and then you're going to pull your fingertips back again. Again, you're going to really try to externally rotate them. And you might see that that's a little different for everybody. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, maybe one arm's better than the other. Don't worry, it'll get better as you do it more. So now, your arms are all the way by your ears. This is going to be one of the positions that we go into. I will face the side. If you're having shoulder problems and you can't get your arms all the way back here, that's okay. We want to make sure your spine stays more straight than your arms. So let's say if all of a sudden I try to bring my arms here and I start going all the way back here, I want you to bring them down just a little bit and try to really work on your spine position. Let your arms be a little more forward for now, and then eventually you'll be able to get the arms back behind. If, however, your arms can be back behind with your spine straight, by all means, let's get those arms all the way back. We're going to just work where you are and then progress even more from that position. So bring your arms back in front, pull the fingertips back, bring them all the way above your head, and now from here, kind of like what we did before, I want you to push up to the ceiling and let the arms relax. Push up to the ceiling and relax. This is kind of like that deco-opting here, a little different, but it's that extra push away and relax, an extra push away. Now, we're gonna hold this extra push away for 10 seconds. And as you push, I want you to give that active pushing feeling, and I want you to keep trying to push up to the sky. Okay, take those arms down for a second, shake it out, shake the arms out, and we're gonna come right back to it. Arms go all the way up, pull the fingertips back, take a nice deep breath in, exhale, and then inhale, push up to the sky. Keep that push here. Now, as you're pushing, we're gonna add that axial extension. I want you to pull your chin in a little bit. I want you to think about that string coming from the top of the head, and I really want you to push those arms to the ceiling as much as you can, like you're trying to press something off of your body. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly relax one arm and slowly relax the other. Great job. Now, that was only 10 seconds. When we're going to be doing these in class, it's going to be about a minute. We're going to hold these positions. So you're going to be wanting to hold this big push and this big extension for 1 minute. And that's only one part of the exercise. So I know it's a lot, but it will get easier. It will get better. So don't worry. Now, this next thing we're going to do is talking about the feet position. With the feet position, if your legs are straight out in front of you and you feel like you're leaning backwards, like this, because your hamstrings are really tight, your back's really tight, or kind of both, or you're just not really sure, something's preventing you from allowing you to straighten your legs. Just like we did with the arms being up overhead, I want you to bring them in, bend them in until you can get your spine straight. And then you're only going to allow your legs to straighten as much as you can to keep your spine straight. So then the next place from there, just like we did with the arms external internal rotation, you're going to do that same thing here with the legs. I want you to internally rotate them, externally rotate them, internally rotate them, and externally rotate them. Good. Now I want you to internally rotate them. The feet will be turned in. Arms go out. We're just working on the feet though right now. So we're going to turn those legs in. Okay? From this position, we're going to pull the toes back and we're going to lift the heels up and drive the heels away from the body. Just like we push the arms up to the sky really tall, I want you to push the heels far away. Like they're going to be keep reaching, 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 reaching. And if you're really flexible and you have the ability to, you're going to try to pull the toes back, and you're going to try to lift those heels off the ground. That's the progression. But again, if you're not there, you'll still do the exact same thing. You'll keep the knees bent, you'll bring the toes back, and you're still going to have that feeling or intention of pushing those heels forward. So the movement is always going to be with your intention. Your intention is to push higher and try to move up. Your intention is to push with the heels and try to lengthen them out as long as you possibly can. The more length and magnitude we can get, the better the posture, the better the feeling it's going to be. And I know that they're going to be difficult at first, but you will get better each time as you go. So I just wanted to let you know these principles of what we're looking at. You're going to again hear me say a lot of reach here, push here, lift your chest, create that axial extension. Know that all of these things come together in time as you're doing the class. And one of the main focuses that we can do is really just focus on that axial extension. And as we go through each ELDOA, you'll get better and better and better at them, even though there's a lot of different moving parts. So don't worry. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me before class and we can really get you in the right direction. Otherwise, I'll see you there and have a great day.